Why, hello there, mortal. Please be welcome. Now, don't be nervous. I know it's a little overwhelming to be in the presence of a goddess, and not just any goddess, of course, but one as myself, the best hunter in all the world, Mount Olympus or otherwise. But you have nothing to fear. Are you ready for our hunt today? You're a little bit worried. Do you hear all that game in the woods? Yes, that was a pack of wild boar that just ran past. You could hear the thumping of their hooves. Oh, I'm quite excited. But like I said, you have nothing to fear. I understand that I am indeed the best huntress in this whole land, and so there's no need to prove yourself. I'll be here to guide you the entire way to make sure you are comfortable and well looked after. And there's no need to try to overcompensate or impress me. Like I said, I am the best in the whole land, Mount Olympus or otherwise. No, there's no one that can quite rival me in my hunting skills. Oh, some have tried, and they were proven very quickly that they didn't quite hold a candle to my skills. But you, as you admit, are a beginner, and I'm happy to guide you. As you can see here, I have my bow that I'm just doing some finishing touches on. Yes, this is just a very basic wooden bow rather. But that said, it is enchanted wood from a very magical tree. Well, I do indeed have a golden bow and quiver in my home, but I did leave it at home today. I knew you would just be so overcome in my presence. I didn't want to overwhelm you and intimidate you, so indeed, I still need to get some of my string, or rather, the bow to go along with the handle. But it's just about whittled to perfection. And yes, I see you brought your own bow, and it's a very charming bow. I'm sure it'll hold up fine. But I can be very generous, and I'm happy to let you borrow mine as needed. Will you come here? As you can see, I have many nymphs to attend me. Will you please string my bow for me? Wonderful. So while she takes care of that, I can give you a little bit of guidance for our wonderful hunt today. Like I said, feel no need to overexert yourself, and you certainly don't need to show off. I'm not too fond of those who show off and try to brag that they're such great hunters. Of course, I always love some friendly competition, and I'm always open and welcome to see others who are skilled. But I've known quite a few who have tried to waltz into my woods and tell me that they are the best hunter, better even than myself. Can you believe it? Oh, I took care of them. Some I turned into boars, some into bears. One in particular, who was so convinced that they were a better hunter than me, came into my woods boastful. Well, I turned them into a stag, and I set a pack of hounds after them. And the best part, it was their very own hounds that attacked him. You might think that's cruel, but it's really just a day in the life of any goddess. We do like to play our games with mortals, but generally I like to think I'm fairly kind, certainly fair. In fact, I've been known to help many mortals when their help is needed. If they do show acts of bravery, or if they do call upon me to assist them in their hunts. I've also been known to help many women. Yes, I help out with childbirth and things of that nature. Some even say that after my poor mother Leto gave birth to me, I turned right around and assisted her when she gave birth to my twin brother Apollo. You know about Apollo, yes. Well, Apollo and I have a complicated relationship, but generally we do support each other. But like I was saying, I welcome you to do what you can, and of course you should be somewhat proud. But do not be too proud, no. Like I said, you wouldn't want me to turn you into any prey and have the hunters, including myself, come after you. But again, I'm sure you'll behave on our hunt together. Now, you have your bow, you have your arrows, wonderful. It's very important to aim true. When you hold your bow nice and tight, keep your eyes very focused on your target. Yes, you wouldn't want to shoot anything by accident, of course not. And in these woods, there are many other gods and goddesses and very fiendish nymphs. There can be quite some trickery. Not everything is always as it seems. Unfortunately, I once was tricked myself more than once. But the one that sticks with me was when I wasn't quite paying attention to what I was shooting. It wasn't really my fault. It was my twin brother Apollo's fault. He is a very protective brother, and he was very, very much concerned with my maidenhood and my status as a maiden. Well, I was foolish enough to fall in love once. His name was Orion, and he was so handsome, so brave, so pure. I loved him with all my heart. Well, my brother did not like the idea of me loving someone, and in fact, I wished to marry Orion, and my brother Apollo was very, very much committed to me staying a maiden. So he tricked me, and I accidentally shot my love, Orion. But at least now at night, when the sun sets, you can look up in the sky and find him, and that does comfort me quite a bit. In any case, it's best that I stay a maid. Yes, I think I am destined to always be a maid. It's part of who I am. But I don't mind. I'm never lonely. I have lots and lots of company. Wonderful, wild animals who I'm very close to. Stags and deers specifically. Some bears as well. I have quite an affinity for them and them for me. But anyway, like I said, always aim true. Yes, that's the most important thing. Speaking of maidens, by the way, I'm sure you've noticed I have plenty of nymphs attending me, and they'll be coming with us on the hunt. Some of them are very skilled hunters as well, and they're very beautiful. But like myself, they have all sworn a vow of chastity and maidenhood. Yes, they are all maidens, and as beautiful as they are, you must not fall for any of them, or be seduced, or try, even more so, to seduce them back. No. Well, there's two types of people that enter my life very often. Those who are boastful and proud, and try to say they're a better hunter than I, Artemis, which is just completely foolish. And then the other type who either fall in love with me and are determined to rid me of my maiden status, or even more so, those who fall in love with my beautiful nymphs who help me out. They are not available. I hardly even want you to look at them, but if you must look, an appreciative glance is fine. You will not touch, seduce, whether it's with poetry or gifts. There's been some tragic ends to those who've pursued my lovely maidens. But you just have to look around and you'll find a lot of creatures and animals that were once men who thought to take advantage of my lovely, innocent nymphs. So like I said, I just don't recommend it. Exactly. Now, besides the nymphs, we will also have some hunting dogs. You do know Pan, don't you? Yes. Well, he was kind enough to gift me with some wonderful hunting dogs, and they'll certainly help us to attract our prey. There's so much wildlife. Stags, boars, pheasants. You will just, honestly, if you aim true, there's no way you won't certainly accomplish something during our hunt today. And like I said, your bow is admirable, but you're welcome to borrow mine. Not my golden one, of course. I left that at home. But my wooden one from the enchanted magic tree. I'm happy to share my tools, as it were. Of course, we have some snacks for our journey. We have a water jug. We have a beautiful spring to fill up our water. It's the most delicious sweet water you'll ever taste. Mostly because this certain spring actually used to be a nymph of mine. I didn't want to turn her into a spring, and it really wasn't her fault. But she had a suitor that just would not let go. Yes, it was, well, the only way to go about it was to turn her into a spring. But she still is very useful to us. Like I said, the water is sparkling and crystal clear and so very delicious. Well, we're just about ready to head out. Are you excited? Again, please don't be intimidated, even though you are with the hunter of all hunters, myself. Did you need a little guidance? Sure. Let me use my bow as an example. We should probably do a couple practice hits anyway before we head out. So perfect. Hold this right here. Okay? Yes, hold this right here. Wonderful. Now, I want you to put your left hand on the bow, right here where it curves. Wonderful. And I want you to pull back. Yes, you see how it's very flexible? So pull back, and the arrow right here where it's notched, yes, I want you to hold that with just the tips of your fingers. Don't be intimidated by all those wild animals rushing past. I know it's a little loud and the noises they make are quite frightening, but you're safe and protected by me. So perfect. Hold back. Hold the tip of the arrow, not the end. Yes, perfect. Right there, right where the tip is. So just hold that back. And then, like I said, with your eyes, aim true. And then release. Well, you almost hit the mark. Don't worry, like I said, I know it's very intimidating. As long as you don't hit any of my nymphs with your arrow, you should be fine. I'm just joking, I know you won't. Now, you probably noticed when you released the bow, there was a little bit of energy left over from that. Yes, the tighter you pull the bow, the more tension, the more power you'll get in the release. So you want to keep your arm very still. Yes. Well, aim with your eyes, focus with your heart, and I know you'll do just fine. So I think we've gone over everything we need to. Again, I'm sure you'll do just fine. And as long as you don't harass any of my nymphs or shoot any of them, Orion's already been shot, so I still would recommend, though, not shooting any other mortals or demigods or anything like that. It's not advised. Yes, there are lots of wild boars and stags running about. We are going to have a wonderful hunt. So if you're all ready, let's venture forth and have a wonderful time together.